Hey guys, it's Michael here from GRNDX Agency. In today's video, I'm going to be going over Facebook ad manager tips that every musician must know in order to get the best out of their music promotion on Facebook's platform. Before we hop into my computer, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure you do that. If you haven't tapped the notification bell and you're subscribed already, that means you're missing out on all of the latest drops and valuable content that we're about to drop now. So please tap the notification bell so you get kept up to date every time we drop a video, and let's hop into my computer. Well, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're in the ad manager. That's one of the main tips that you need to have as a fundamental. A lot of indie musicians and producers are stuck on using Instagram boost posts, and the reason why I would advise you not to do that is because you're limited with the amount of analytics that you can see, and secondly the functionalities, such as you being able to run up to 11 different campaign objectives is something that is not possible on Instagram's platform. And on top of that, there's certain statistics that you can't really see. You can't really break down your data in depth to have an idea of what's really working and what's not working, which is very key in regards to knowing whether your campaign is successful or not, or understanding how to tweak that campaign to make it successful. So on that point, one of the things that I want to start off with is looking at something called the breakdown feature. So right now we're on a campaign that we ran last year for a UK artist, and you can see some of the stats here that are the best in regards to the cost per result, per engagement campaign, and free play. So I'm going to select the free play campaign that got 3,816 free plays, and we spent around £14. So if I select that, let's say for instance I wanted to improve this result further, you can see the result is very good because it's less than a pence. But if I wanted to find out more information and find out specifically what's driving the best results and what's not working well, so I know how to eliminate that and redraft the campaign to see if it improves the cost per result, this is what I would do. So I would go over here to the top bar here and click in between the hamburger icon here and the reports, and I'm going to get to the breakdown section. And this is pretty much the feature that a lot of people don't really know exists, and they need to be aware of it because it allows you to analyze your ad campaigns specifically in depth. So as you can see here, I'm on the delivery space here. So what I'm going to do to clear this up a little bit is go to video views. We've got the campaigns that are video views. We've narrowed that down to make it a little bit easier to see. And what I want to do now, the reason why I did that is so I can make it easier for you guys to follow along. If I had all of the different campaign objectives, it's going to get a little bit confusing. So what I want to do now is I want to go to over here to the breakdown section again, by delivery. And what this does now is allow us to see different elements of the campaign that we were showing our ads to. So it breaks it down by age, the gender. If you want age and gender, you can get that as well. The business location, the country, the region. It breaks it down by the impression device, the media type, the platform and device together, the placement and device, product ID, the time of day that your ad was performing, the time of day, viewers, time zone. So there's so many different elements you can actually look into. So this is an example of the breakdown feature, and what we're going to do here is select just the age. So if we look at that specific campaign I was talking about, you would see it has a breakdown of how the ad was actually performing, and it's got the age groups all the way from 18 going up to 64, and it breaks it down, as you can see here, by the age. So if we look at the results, first of all, see the results of how many people viewed and what has the most. As you can see here, the ages of 25 to 34 had 1,388, and the age of 18 to 24 had 1,240, which is the best out of all the other age groups. As you can see, the lowest here is 176 views, which is 65 plus. So that is basically something that we can use as an elimination factor. It's telling us basically that the 65 plus is not something we really want to be targeting. If we're looking at cost, we can see the lowest is free, 0.0003 out of everything, and that's 55 to 64. But the results is 188, so that could be something that we test out to see, is this specific age group worth targeting, because they have low in results, but they're giving us the lowest cost. But when you look at the type of artist that we're running the campaign for, it's a rap artist from the UK. We know already that his audience isn't really going to be 55 to 64, even though it's given us good results. As you can see, it hasn't delivered as much. These age ranges between 18 and 34 have done the best. So what we would probably do here is take these specific two age ranges and split test them against each other. What I'm going to do is give you two more examples of how to use this breakdown feature. If we're going to go to, what's the next one we should, country. So let's say, for instance, right now on that same campaign, we ran the campaign to specific locations: Germany, Netherlands, Ghana, United Kingdom, and Australia. And if we look at the results, we can see who's winning: the United Kingdom, and the cost isn't too bad, 4/10 of a pence. Then you can see here, results wise, who was performing the worst: Australia. After that comes Netherlands, and in terms of the best, it's Ghana. Then we have Germany. So this is giving us like an idea of what we should do in regards to locations. When you run a campaign, you would obviously have specific locations in mind, and after you've been running that campaign for at least 3 days or more, you would have enough data that you can start looking at the breakdowns and figuring out what results are working best, what results are not working best. And you can start analyzing the breakdown feature to see the locations that you want to start eliminating. So let's say this campaign had been running for a week. We would have looked at this data and then said to ourselves, okay, United Kingdom seems to be the country that's bringing in all the views. So why not just focus all of the budget on United Kingdom and possibly Ghana still, and leave the rest? And this is something that we'll convey to the client. And this is something that you need to be doing. If you're running campaigns and they're not performing well, you need to be going to the breakdown feature and using this feature to see what's working, what's not working, and looking at the statistics and how much it's costing you per the location. So the next thing I'm going to jump onto quickly is the device as well. So you can see that there's so many different areas you can look into. So platform and device. So I've just selected device. So as you can see, what you're looking at is the same video view campaign that I've been using as an example. You can see here, if we look at it's telling us about the placements that we used and the device that performed the best. And this is a way for you to easily look at what's working and what's not working in regards to placements. So we look at this specific campaign, just filtered it so it's easier to look at. You can see after filtering it, what it's telling us is that the audience network and the Android device performed best, and it's the same for the iPhone. The audience network and the iPhone perform best. So that's something that we'll look at and see where we want to use that for the next campaign. Is audience network something we want to be focused on? And it's not. I'm going to explain that next, the reason why you don't want to focus on audience network as one of the tips. But this is just an example of how you can use the breakdown features to start looking at each location, device, placement, and breaking down what your ad campaign is doing in terms of the deliverance and whether it's effective to be targeting certain places still. If the locations are not giving you the results you need, then you might as well cut the ad. If the specific device is not performing best, let's say for instance, over here you can see that the Android device for Instagram is not really doing well, and the iPhone for Instagram is not really doing well, it's not pulling in results, then we would cut that. You can see the stats that are here. and it's giving you clear indications of what's working and what's not working, and you just have to start tinkering and testing. The aim is to collect as much data as possible so you can start making informed decisions on how you can improve that campaign or how you can test that campaign in order to see if the results improve. So that's the key way you need to look at it. So hopefully you've got an idea of how to use the breakdown feature. Obviously there's more depth I can go into, but I don't want to, take your guys' time up, as there's so much more I need to discuss. What I was speaking about the placements and the breakdown feature and how you needed to watch out for the audience networks being selected. So what I'm going to do now is quickly explain that I've selected the breakdown feature, which I showed you how to do previously, and I've narrowed it down by the placements. As you can see, the Instagram, the Facebooks, and you can see here it says audience network. Now, if you look at this specific campaign, it's got 6,500 through plays. And if we break that down for that campaign, if we scroll all the way down, you can see a large majority of those through plays came from the audience network reward video mobile app. So this is basically when your ad is being shown on mobile app games. And the problem with this is the whole essence of using a video view as a musician is the fact that you can rack up your video views and then retarget that specific audience by creating a custom audience. And this is something that you're not able to do when you're using the placement of audience network. What happens is all of the views that are collected from that, you can't retarget. So these 6,204 views that you can see as through plays, they're pretty much useless. So that's a mistake that you really want to make sure that you don't make. If you're running campaigns and your aim is to run video view campaigns, make sure that you do unselect the audience network, as a large percentage of your views are going to go directly to the audience network and your budget is just going to be invested in that area where it could be going towards, in-stream videos. And if I scroll up, I'm sure I'm going to be able to find something that did better. As you can see, the campaign above, video views that got 20,424 views. You can see here that the in-stream video was able to collect 19,072 video views. And you can see for this specific campaign, we purposely removed the audience network so that, we could put to use the video view campaign and create a custom audience off of that. So you can see how the video views are, spread out much more than they were before, instead of all of that attention going to audience network. So that's definitely a point you want to take on board when you're running video view campaigns and unselecting the audience network. Tip that you want to be aware of is that at the top over here, what you can do is apply rules to your ad campaigns. And the whole essence of creating a rule is to control your ad whilst you're not able to attend to it. So let's say, for instance, you're away and you can't look at your ad manager, and you know that you're running campaigns that you're not sure whether they're going to perform well or not. What you can actually do is, create specific automated rules. And what they do is, let's say we say this campaign is called Stop Ad Budget, random name. And it's asking me, is it all campaigns, all active campaigns, all active ad sets? You would select one of these, all active ads. And it goes, what action do you want to perform? Turn off ad, turn on ad, send notification only. So for instance, we can turn the ad off straight away as soon as it does something we don't want it to do. So in this instance, I'm giving you an example of the cost per result. If the cost per result is greater than, do this. If it's less than, do this. If it's between, if it's not. So let's say, for instance, our target cost per result was around, I'm only saying max £1. If it's greater than £1, lifetime impressions, saying how many people it's going to be shown to. And once it hits that, so once it's shown to greater than 8,000 people and the cost per result is greater than £1, what it's going to do is it's going to then shut the ad off. It's going to turn the ad off. But what we can do here is change this value, the time range. So let's say we wanted it to run for a week. So the campaign is going to start, it's going to look at the campaigns in the last 7 days, and it's going to look at the condition. It's saying if the lifetime impression, if it's been shown to more than 8,000 people, and those people have viewed it, it's been shown more than 8,000 times, what's going to happen is that's going to meet one half of the condition, and then the next is if the cost per result is greater than £1, it's then going to add an automated rule which shuts off any of those ad campaigns. So this is a quick and easy way for you to be able to, control and manage your ad campaigns without actively having to, be there and attend to any of the campaigns. It's a quick safety measure. A quick tip that you want to be aware of is the campaign budget optimization. If you're testing multiple ad campaigns and you know that you want your budget to be spent on the one that is performing the best, then you want to switch the campaign budget optimization on. It explains it here. It says the campaign budget optimization will distribute your budget across ad sets to get more results depending on your delivery optimization choice and bid strategy. You can control spending on each ad set. So what happens is, before the campaign budget optimization, you would just put the amount you think is feasible against any of the ad sets that you're split testing, and that budget will get spent regardless. So if you're testing, free campaigns at $2 a day, those campaigns are going to spend $6 a day regardless. But what happens now is, if you do that same test and you put the campaign budget optimization, it's going to look at all of the free campaigns that you're split testing, and the one after the first day that's performing best, it's then going to start putting all of the budget, the $2 from the first and the second, into the one that's performing best. So you may see that all of the $6 that you're spending across free ad sets ends up going to one ad set that is performing well. And the reason why this is important is because you want to make sure that you squeeze as much money out of your ad campaigns as possible, and you don't want to be losing money testing in places that don't need to be tested anymore because you wasn't aware of the fact that you need to switch that campaign off. So that's just some of the points that I have for you, and something that you really need to look into doing. Here is when you're dealing with locations. First up here, it says people living in or who have recently visited this location. You want to always select people that are living in this location if you don't want people that are merely just visiting and are bound to leave very soon. You want people that actually live and are designated residents of that specific country that you're targeting. So we're going to only be targeting people that live in the UK by selecting people that live in this location, whereas before you were targeting people that were visiting, so people that are on holiday from other parts of the world that are not likely to stay in the UK for long. So that's something that you want to watch out for. And then another thing that you want to look out for is the fact that, as you can see, this is green. It means UK is included into our targeting region. What you can also do here is exclude. So let's say, for example, I wanted to exclude Albania. You can see here, Albania is one of the regions that we're not going to be targeting. So United Kingdom is going to be targeted, but Albania, or anyone from Albania, is not going to be part of our locations. So the exclude, when you're dealing with locations, is an important function because there's surely going to be some countries that you don't want to see your ad campaigns because they're not part of your selected target market, and the music that you make is not going to resonate with them. So definitely look out for the location setting up here for people living in this location, and secondly, using the exclude function for your locations as well. Here's quickly just explain what you can do when it comes to placements. So after you've done the breakdown feature, what you may notice is some of the campaigns are performing best on a mobile device instead of actual desktop, because when you look at it, a majority of people that are going to see your ads are likely to be on their mobile device, and that's what we've noticed when we run loads of campaigns for different artists. So what you would do here is go to the manual placements, then you can see it says devices here. You would edit that, and then you would just unselect desktop. And what that now means is all of the campaigns that you're going to be running are only going to be shown to people that are on their mobile phones instead of mobile and desktop. And the reason why this is key is when you look at it, next time you're on your phone and you're on your desktop, ask yourself, what platform do you see more of your ads on? And it's likely going to be you're going to see your ads on mobile more than you see your ads on desktop. So that's a point for you as well to take on as a tip that you should really embrace. And next, we're going to have how to control your budget. So let's say, for instance, you've said to yourself, you don't want to bid more than £1 for a specific ad that you're running. You would go over here and you would set your limit. So you would put £1 in here. So what that means is you're only going to be allowed to bid up to £1 for the specific ad that you're trying to show to that specific audience. So if it costs more than £1 to be shown in front of that audience, you're not going to be able to reach them. And it allows you to control your cost. So it says Facebook will aim to get the most link clicks and for the average cost to be no more than £1 using the cost cap bid strategy. So it's allowing you to set some sort of limitations on the amount that you're going to be bidding and control your budget pretty much. As I know a lot of you indie artists don't have massive budgets, so you really want to be using your cost control in order to make sure that you can, have some sort of control and hindsight on how much you're going to be spending for the ads and the testing that you're doing to have effective ad campaigns. You've been able to get a clear idea of some of the fundamental tips that you need to understand when you're running music promo in order to get the best out of Facebook's platform. If you guys want a part 2 of this so I can go in more detail about other tips that you guys need to be aware of when marketing your music in 2021 and beyond, let me know in the comment section and I'll do that for you. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel and you're watching this video and you're obtaining knowledge from it and you're enjoying the video, make sure you do subscribe. If you haven't tapped the notification bell, make sure you do that so you can get kept up to date if we do drop a part 2 and any of the other videos that we drop to educate you about music marketing. My name is Michael and I'll see you guys in the next video.